Imagine a city silenced, a city once vibrant with life, now choked by hunger, gripped by fear, and surrounded by an unrelenting enemy. This is Leningrad, 1941. As the iron fist of Nazi Germany tightened its grip across Europe, the Eastern Front became a theater of unimaginable brutality. Operation Barbarossa, Hitler's invasion of the Soviet Union, aimed to crush the Red Army and seize vast territories. But in Leningrad, the Wehrmacht met a resistance unlike any other. What followed was a siege, a 900-day nightmare that tested the limits of human endurance. Imagine the desperation, the choices forced upon ordinary citizens. The unthinkable, eating wallpaper paste for survival, driven by the primal instinct to live. This is not just a war story. It's a story of the human spirit in its most extreme trial. Leningrad's unbreakable spirit, 900 days of hunger and survival, delves into the heart of this unimaginable ordeal. Through rare archival footage, expert historical analysis, and the poignant testimonies of survivors, we will explore the strategic importance of Leningrad, the brutal realities of starvation, and the extraordinary acts of ingenuity and sacrifice that defined the city's resistance. From the frozen streets to the desperate measures taken to find sustenance, from the fierce battles fought to the cultural treasures preserved against all odds, we will uncover the story of a city that refused to surrender, a people who refused to break. Prepare to witness the unimaginable. Prepare to witness the unbreakable spirit of Leningrad. Before the iron grip of war, Leningrad shimmered, a jewel on the Baltic. Formerly St. Petersburg, then Petrograd, it was renamed Leningrad in 1924, a monument to revolution. Imagine opulent palaces lining the Neva River, reflecting the golden light of a summer evening. A city steeped in history, art flourished in its theaters and museums, its factories hummed with industry, producing everything from turbines to textiles. The Kirov Ballet graced the stage, and scientists at the Physico-Technical Institute pushed the boundaries of knowledge. Leningrad was a beacon of Soviet progress, a vibrant hub of over 3 million souls, teeming with life and promise. But the idyllic facade masked a growing unease. Whispers of war drifted in from the west, casting a long shadow over the city's gilded spires. Little did they know, this beautiful metropolis was about to become a crucible, a testing ground for the human spirit. The storm was coming, and Leningrad, the Pearl of the North, was directly in its path. June 22, 1941. The tranquility of a summer morning was shattered as Nazi Germany unleashed Operation Barbarossa, a lightning strike against the Soviet Union. The invasion sent shockwaves across the nation, and Leningrad, a prime strategic target, braced for impact. Hitler envisioned Leningrad not just conquered, but annihilated, erased from the map. The 16th and 18th German armies, supported by Finnish forces to the north, lunged toward the city. Initially, Soviet resistance was fierce but disorganized. Within weeks, the German war machine devoured vast stretches of territory, pushing relentlessly towards Leningrad. A sense of urgency gripped the city. Factories were repurposed for war production. Civilians dug anti-tank trenches, and children were evacuated. Leningrad was transforming from a vibrant metropolis into a fortress, steeling itself for a brutal siege. The noose was tightening, slowly but surely, around the city's throat. By September 8, 1941, the unthinkable had happened. Leningrad was completely encircled. The last land route to the rest of the Soviet Union was severed. The Iron Ring had closed. Millions were trapped, cut off from vital supplies. The immediate impact was devastating. Food reserves dwindled rapidly, and panic gripped the population. The shelves of stores were quickly emptied, and rationing was introduced, offering only a meager amount of bread, barely enough to sustain life. With no escape, the city became a pressure cooker, a desperate struggle for survival against hunger, cold, and relentless bombardment. The siege of Leningrad had begun, and it promised to be one of the most brutal chapters in human history. The city, once vibrant and full of life, was now a prison, its inhabitants facing a slow and agonizing death. The winter of 1941 to 42 descended upon Leningrad with merciless fury. The cold was brutal, temperatures plummeting to minus 40 degrees Celsius. With no fuel for heating, people froze in their apartments, huddled together for warmth, but to no avail. But the cold was merely a tormenting companion to the true enemy, hunger. The daily bread ration shrank to a mere 125 grams for workers and dependents, a starvation diet that fueled a slow, agonizing decline. Death became a constant presence, stalking the streets, claiming thousands of lives each day. Corpses lay unburied in the frozen streets, a grim testament to the city's suffering. Desperation fueled increasingly desperate measures. Families traded their valuables for scraps of food, and rumors of cannibalism began to circulate. This was the winter of death, a period of unimaginable suffering, where the line between life and death blurred with each passing day. Amidst the despair, a sliver of hope emerged, the road of life. A precarious ice road across Lake Ladoga. It was the only lifeline to Leningrad, offering a fragile connection to the outside world. Built and maintained under constant German bombardment, the road was a treacherous gauntlet. Trucks laden with supplies rumbled across the thin ice, their drivers risking their lives with every journey. The ice groaned and cracked under the weight, and many vehicles plunged into the icy depths, taking their precious cargo and drivers with them. Yet, the road of life persevered, a testament to human ingenuity and courage. Though woefully inadequate, it provided a trickle of supplies, enough to keep hope alive and prevent the city from utter collapse. It was a symbol of defiance, a fragile lifeline that connected Leningrad to the world and to its own will to survive. As food supplies dwindled, the people of Leningrad turned to increasingly desperate measures to stave off starvation. A seemingly insignificant discovery offered a glimmer of hope: wallpaper paste. Made from potato starch and flour, it was a meager source of sustenance, but in a city ravaged by hunger, it was a treasure. Families meticulously scraped wallpaper from their walls, boiled the paste into a thin, watery gruel, and shared it amongst themselves. This wallpaper stew, as it became known, was far from nutritious, but it provided a few precious calories, enough to keep the flame of life flickering. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Leningraders, their unwavering determination to find sustenance in the most unlikely of places. Even wallpaper, a symbol of domesticity and normalcy, became a weapon in the fight for survival. The desperation in Leningrad spurred scientific ingenuity. Facing mass starvation, scientists at the Leningrad Technological Institute and other research facilities raced against time to unlock the secrets of food production from unconventional materials. Botanist Dmitry Ivanov theorized that cellulose, abundant in wood pulp, could be converted into a digestible form. Experiments began using sawdust and wood pulp, breaking down complex carbohydrates into simpler sugars. It wasn't palatable or truly nourishing, but it was calories. Chemists explored extracting protein from cottonseed meal and other agricultural byproducts. The focus was on survival, pushing the boundaries of science to create even the most minimal nutritional value. This effort, while seemingly futile in the face of mass death, provided a crucial psychological boost, proof that even in the depths of despair, the human mind could find a way to fight back. As the siege dragged on, the search for sustenance grew even more desperate. With wallpaper paste exhausted, the people of Leningrad turned to even more unpalatable sources. Tree bark, boiled for hours to soften it, became a meager meal. Leather belts and shoes were rendered into gelatinous stews, providing minimal protein, but momentarily filling empty stomachs. Even the glue used to bind books was consumed. These measures were not solutions, but desperate acts of survival in a city where death was a constant companion. Rumors and ultimately confirmed reports of cannibalism spread, a dark stain on the siege's already horrific legacy. This was the ultimate testament to the depths of human suffering, a glimpse into the unimaginable choices people were forced to make in order to survive. Choices that haunted them long after the siege was lifted, a reminder of the price of survival in Leningrad. Even as the city crumbled, the human spirit refused to be extinguished. Leningrad, a beacon of Russian culture, clung fiercely to its artistic soul. The Philharmonic Orchestra, under the baton of Karl Eliasberg, performed Shostakovich's Symphony No. 7, the Leningrad Symphony, in August 1942. Its defiant notes resonated throughout the besieged city, broadcast on loudspeakers, a powerful symbol of resistance against the Nazi onslaught. Theaters remained open, albeit with skeleton crews and meager resources. Actors performed Chekhov and Shakespeare, their voices carrying words of hope and human connection amidst the despair. Artists sketched the ravaged cityscape, transforming scenes of devastation into poignant testaments of survival. The Hermitage, though emptied of its treasures, held lectures within its echoing halls, reminding citizens of the beauty and heritage they were fighting to preserve. Culture became a weapon, a shield, and a lifeline, proving that even in the face of unimaginable suffering, the spirit could soar. The siege's most vulnerable victims were the children. Their small bodies, starved and weakened, were ill-equipped to withstand the relentless conditions. Orphaned by bombing raids or the slow, agonizing death of their parents, they roamed the streets, scavenging for scraps of food. The mortality rate among children soared. The Piskaryovskoye Memorial Cemetery became their final resting place. Despite the horrors, there were acts of extraordinary kindness. Teachers held classes in bomb shelters, desperate to provide some semblance of normalcy. Orphanages, though desperately short on supplies, offered shelter and care. Diaries kept by young survivors like Tanya Savicheva, who documented the deaths of her entire family in stark, heartbreaking entries, serve as enduring testaments to their suffering and resilience. These children, forced to confront unimaginable loss, represent the deepest tragedy of the siege, a generation scarred but not broken. After nearly 900 days of unimaginable suffering, hope finally emerged on the horizon. In January 1944, the Soviet Army launched Operation Spark, a coordinated offensive aimed at breaking the Nazi blockade. Fierce fighting raged outside the city as Soviet troops battled to reclaim vital supply routes. On January 27, 1944, the siege of Leningrad was officially lifted. The news spread like wildfire, igniting spontaneous celebrations throughout the devastated city. Emaciated residents, their faces etched with years of hardship, poured into the streets, embracing each other with tears of joy and relief. Fireworks illuminated the winter sky, a dazzling display that symbolized the end of their long nightmare. However, the joy was tempered by the stark reality of the devastation, the countless lives lost, and the immense task of rebuilding that lay ahead. The breaking of the ring was not just a military victory. It was a testament to the unbreakable spirit of Leningrad. The liberation marked not an end, but a beginning. The task of rebuilding Leningrad was monumental. Ruined buildings needed to be reconstructed, utilities restored, and the shattered lives of its citizens pieced back together. The city, now a shadow of its former glory, slowly began to heal. Parks were replanted, monuments restored, and new housing built to replace the bombed-out ruins. The memory of the siege, however, remained, etched in the collective consciousness. The Piskaryovskoye Memorial Cemetery, with its mass graves and poignant inscriptions, became a place of pilgrimage, a somber reminder of the human cost of war. Leningrad, renamed St. Petersburg after the collapse of the Soviet Union, stands today as a symbol of resilience, a testament to the human capacity to endure even the most unimaginable suffering. The wallpaper eaten in desperation, the symphonies played in defiance, the diaries written in hope, all serve as enduring reminders of Leningrad's unbreakable spirit. The Siege of Leningrad, a staggering 900 days of relentless suffering, a testament to the depravity of war and the boundless capacity for human endurance. We've witnessed the harrowing realities of starvation, the chilling efficiency of siege warfare, and the heartbreaking loss of life on an unimaginable scale. But amidst the darkness, we have also seen the flicker of hope, the ingenuity of scientists finding new sources of food, the unwavering dedication of doctors tending to the sick and wounded, the artistic spirit that refused to be extinguished, and the simple acts of kindness that sustained life in the face of death. Leningrad's story is not just a historical account. It is a profound lesson in resilience, resourcefulness, and the will to survive. It's a stark reminder of the devastating human cost of ideological conflict and the importance of cherishing peace. As we reflect on the sacrifices made by the people of Leningrad, let us remember their courage and their unwavering spirit. Let their story serve as a beacon of hope, a warning against the horrors of war, an enduring tribute to the unbreakable strength of the human heart. Let us never forget Leningrad,